Oh right, hang on. Have we frozen? I think our camera's done a bit of a freeze. Oh, there you go. Right, we're back. Hello, everybody. Hello. We figured we might as well start a little bit earlier. Why not? I mean, technically it's a bit later, but do you know what I mean? Like, we are starting earlier than the advertisement, of course. According to the stream, we've still got another 5 minutes to go, but according to our usual programming schedule, we are 25 minutes late, so there is that. But, you know, welcome along, one and all. Welcome along. How are we? Hope we're good. How was your weekend? Sure it was fun. I'm sure it was interesting. I'm sure there's a lot to talk about tonight. Kind of already touched upon some things, of course. There was the charity match, which we'll talk about. I have an apology to make for the charity match. We will talk about Sochaux and how we're going to do really, really well in a Moneyball capacity there. We can talk about this beautiful new shirt. Nice new shirt. It's lovely, yeah. And we can also talk about HMS Piss the League, because let's face it, the Premier League, as I've said before, is rubbish. And Sunderland have proven it, because at one point, until Man City played, Sunderland were top of the league. And that's your best league in the world, is it? Come off it. Right, welcome one and all. Hope you're good. Welcome, of course, to our Journeyman save. We are 11 seasons in. Stephen over on YouTube has suggested that we talk to second yellow card. Of course, we could talk to second yellow card about managing in Sochaux. He's there as well. But I think, as I said, Stephen, very, very different circumstances. We are season 11. I'm not sure whereabouts Matt's on at the minute. I think he's probably around at the same time, but obviously very, very different in the fact that, he doesn't have the same players, because it's a different universe, isn't it? So, and we could ask him about it, but I'm not sure how much crossover there's going to be with our save. We could ask him just out of interest to find out how he's doing it, how he's finding it. But yeah, let's do that. How is everybody, by the way? Welcome. Calisphere Jason, welcome in. And TJ straight with the controversy. There's no controversy. Everyone told me the Premier League was meant to be the greatest league in the world. It was meant to be difficult. I mean, and I said a lot of times the bottom half of the Premier League is shit. West Ham are in the bottom half of the Premier League. We battered them 3-0. So either I'm wrong, right, and the bottom half of the Premier League is actually really, really good, and therefore Sunderland are really, really good, or the bottom half of the Premier League is actually quite rubbish, and Sunderland are not as rubbish as some people would have you believe. Because I said they recruited well. I said we're not going to get relegated, and we decided we might as well just go top of the league, at quarter to 5. The only time Sunderland will win all season. Not a chance at all, Keith. I'm just stupid. Of course we're not doing that. Because what you usually see, right? What you usually see is a team who's promoted wins their opening match of the season and then doesn't win again. Absolutely ridiculous. A man called Tactical Keith clearly knows nothing. Because let's face it, we've got Burnley next, and we'll put 10 past them. So, do you know what I mean? Be absolutely easier. Be easy. You know what I mean? There's far worse teams in the Premier League. Wolves for a start. Exactly. Wolves are crap. Brentford are crap. Burnley are crap. West Ham are crap. Yeah. Loads of rubbish teams. Fulham are crap. Yeah. There you go. I'm calling it. You lot all seem to think that Tottenham are crap. And Man U are crap. So fine, we'll beat them as well then. Bring them all on. We'll make a mockery of your league. Last time we got promoted to the Premier League from the Championship, we finished 7th at the first attempt. So let's hope for, fingers crossed, for something like that. And again, back then we didn't have Granit Xhaka, and we do now. So just saying, we're in a good spot, right? We're already off the mark. We've got 3 points. I wasn't expecting to be 3 points up already, to be honest. Before the transfer window, I was expecting us to be relegated by about February. So, do you know what I mean? That's fine. So, yeah, it'll be alright. You can't judge after one game. I am judging after one game. People writing Gokaresh off after one match is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not writing one player. I'm talking about an entire team. All right, I'm going to write off an entire league after one match. Yeah. Everton aren't that good. Who else is even in the Premier League? Crystal Palace. They're going to be preoccupied with Europe. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Look, you know what? If we have to just end up in the Champions League spots at the end, fine, whatever. But fairly sure, we'll probably be winning the league. Yeah, we might as well, just to prove a point. We're still putting bids in for defenders in the Italian league. We are, yeah. We're going to get that lad from Bologna as well. Apparently, the Colombian lad who's apparently meant to be quite good. So we're after him. That's the thing. Real life football chat game's gone. I know, console. I know. Got myself all excited, haven't I? Luchumi, that's the lad. Brentford have got a set piece coach. I've written them off. Yeah, get them in the bin. You know. Not Sunderland fans saying Premier League, you're corrupt. I don't know, I wasn't there. Possibly, they might have done. Premier League is corrupt. It's rubbish. As we're proving. Literally proving it from day one. This league's shit. But then again, we did run away with the championship at the start of the season, so maybe we'll tail off towards the end, you know. Fine. You know. We'll do what we do. Poor Alan Shearer had to watch it as well and be like, you know, I'm not going to say anything. So, there you go. That's where we're at. That's the whole football conversation then. Have I loaded the right save? Have I got my end of season save, or is this my season 11 midpoint save? Double check. How is everyone, by the way? Harry Morgan's in. How would you like the Belgium gems, Talbi and Siddiqui? Siddiqui looks class. Talbi's going to need a little bit of time to settle in, I think. I think he's going to need a little bit more time, but Siddiqui looks like he's already on fire. So he's going to be fine. Diarra looks class as well. Diarra looks very, very good, actually. Shearer blames Kirkes for one of Bournemouth's goals. It wasn't even on the pitch. It's almost like Alan Shearer doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. Heard the game away back from Slough. They were raving about Diarra. Yeah, he's done well. He's done well. Poor Dave Goodge had to accept it. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, okay, here we go. This is what's happening. Lukumi was almost once in Belgium, proper defender. See, there you go. So Sochaux was a bit of a decent end to the season. We started winning matches. We got ourselves into a nice position. We channeled our inner Sunderland, I think. What's a World Cup year? Honduras are there. Skelly Alviro and Cherno Barry, former Sochaux players who've gone to the World Cup. What goods are the Leicester Hammer? That's the one. Karazar, hope you're feeling okay after Saturday. Oh, you know what, Karazar? I sort of did say properly hello. Lovely to meet you. Yes, my legs were in absolute bits yesterday. They are starting to be fine now. They're okay now. But yeah, I was a bit tight on yesterday, and then had to walk around Legoland all day. So there you go. That's where we are. I didn't peg you as the most likely player to nearly lamp one of the opposition. Well, it's the thing, you know what I mean? Don't judge a book by its cover. Someone's going to be a dick, I'll call them up on it. Yeah? Did the kids enjoy Legoland? They did. Yes, they did. It was lovely. It was really, really good, thank you. Really good. It was a bit warm, so they started to get a bit aggy after a while, but yeah, no, it was class. They had a great time. We had a great time. I had a big Nando's to sort of refuel the following day, and yeah, not too shabby. I was back like about maybe 12:15 at night or something. So it's quite a long day. It's been a long weekend. I was even sat going like, do you know what? I could probably do with tonight off, from streaming, but like, we're away on holiday on Friday, so figured maybe it was a good idea to jump on tonight, have a bit of a chat, even if we do like 2 and a bit hours. We don't have to go at midnight. We can do like 11:30 or something, and we'll do that. But yeah, figure we'll pop on, we'll say hello, we'll do some bits, you know. We'll talk about what's gone on. Nando's order, right? Nando's order. It is important. The Nando's order. Half a chicken, extra hot, ovs. Extra chicken, half, extra hot. Peri peri fries and a side of mac and cheese. That was my Nando's order. So I enjoy that. Zim says his leg isn't as bad as he thought it would be, which is good. Yeah. I messaged him to find out. I think he's going for an X-ray tomorrow, just to double check. But he's got a long-standing knee issue anyway. And I think he's hurt that a couple of times. I think he was like, "Oh God, this is it, gone." But yeah. Thankfully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, it's not as bad as it looks. Because he was in agony, he was done, and he was such an important player for us as well. Like, because he was he's a big physical outlet initially, right? But he's also really, really good. So he was the great presence up front. And when he got injured, and when Clayton got injured, we had nothing really up front. Like, we had no strikers, which really changed the game, to be honest. Having no strikers, like, we created some chances. We created some decent chances, particularly in the second half. You know, 1 or 2 of those go in, and then like all of a sudden it's fine. If my penalty goes in, you know, then we go in at half time 2-2. You know, then there's like something happening. It's like, okay, we've maybe got a game going on there now, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, which I guess is what football is really. You know, we tried our best. We gave as good as we could get. My corners were decent. You're right, Dan. My corners were pretty good. Callum nearly scored it with a great header on one in the second half. Evening, Chris, though, buddy. How are you, pal? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Haven't seen the offside decision on Cal as well. I don't think he was actually offside. Should have been 4-5. Yeah, I've not rewatched it, but I've seen I've seen the picture of where he is, and he doesn't look offside, so that could be interesting to watch it. I haven't had time. I've had the kids all day today on daddy duty, so I've not had a look at that yet. Have I recovered? I mean, never really, Chris. you never fully recover, do you? At all. But the legs are still sore. They're not as sore as they were. Sorry. But yeah, yesterday they were pretty bad. Yesterday they were pretty bad. Thoughts about Slough 12 men on the pitch? Yeah, there's something about, like, if you had this Superman or something, you had an extra man. Like, we had it as well when we had Sion. They played with extra players. I mean, that's the ref's got to sort that out, hasn't he? Really, do you know what I mean? He's got to count, and if he's decided he's not counted, then fine. Or if we've missed it, fine, whatever. Ultimately, like, I mean, though, you know what? Probably, like, you know, the better team won at the end of the day. Like, I'm not just saying that. The better team won. They actually have played as a team before. They've had training sessions. They've really put themselves in and, you know, worked hard. And to be fair for them, it like means more. Like, it means more for them to win in front of their, you know, in their stadium, in front of their fans. Like, yeah, the story was for them to win it. Like, that's the better story. Like, you know, because they can go home and, like, they can tell people, like, I played on Slough's pitch, we won a trophy. That's brilliant. Like, for us, it was just a case of we turned up, we had a game, and it was class. Raised a load of money for charity, which is brilliant. I'll pop the link back in the chat, by the way, tonight, just to see if there's anything else that we can do to raise a few more quid, because well over $2,000 is, like, super impressive. They had more players, so they were fresher in the second half. The strikers weren't injured. was quite handy. The long throws were brilliant. They were brilliant. We didn't expect that, and that really changed that changed our thoughts very quickly, because I was quite surprised. Well, I wasn't quite surprised. So I started on the bench, so I had a bit of time to like sort of watch what was going on and see what was happening and try and sort of like spot some outlets and spot some things that you don't see while you're actually playing. So I thought when I came on, I was like, right, okay, I've got a bit of an advantage here that I've spotted a few bits and pieces. They were dirty in the first half. They were a little bit. they were a lot, actually. There's Clates gets taken out right at the start. I don't understand why Tom's played on. Tom's played it on. He shouldn't have done it. Should have been a free kick straight away. And I think that then sets the tone. You could argue that Clates' foot's maybe a tiny bit high leading up to it. For me, it's a coin toss. I can see if it gets pulled up. I can see it. If it doesn't, play it on. But then you've got to call the foul like straight after when he gets taken out. That's ridiculous. And then like Clates ends up going to hospital because like he sort of loses his footing and gets smashed up into the advertising hoardings. Tom played on for Zims. He said, he got the call wrong. He got the call absolutely wrong. Zims wasn't running onto the ball, and it was just the wrong call. Because the thing is, it sets a tone. It's too early to make a call like that, I think. But I'm not the ref. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the ref. Like he has to call it. Personally, I think that's the wrong call. So see what happens from there. And yeah, there was one of their centre halves was very, very keen to get involved in a lot of stuff. May have been the guy I told to fuck off. So may have been him. It was him, by the way. Did Kev do anything tactical at all, or just tell you all to run around a bit? Kev did very, very little, actually. I think Kev stuck up for us though when it got feisty. Kev went and had a bit of a shout. He had a bit of a shout at the opposition dugout and told them to tell their boys to calm down. He had a megaphone, but he didn't have any batteries, so it's sort of like I don't know if that sort of like put him on the back foot a little bit, but he was happy to be there, and he's part of the dynamic, isn't he? So the Slough first penalty was because a few minutes earlier Tom turned down a penalty shout and then he flopped the next one. Was that for Slough's penalty or for our penalty? For theirs, I can't even remember their penalty, to be honest. I think it was it a bit of a coming together? Maybe. I think it was on the I think it was on my side, actually. I think I saw it. I would have told the guy, fuck off, I was on your shoes as well. So the reason I did this, okay, now I'm going to explain why I did it. Because he'd handballed it when I got the penalty, right? So he'd already given away one penalty. Then I blasted the ball at him. He handballs it. Straight red card. Surely it's a red card. It's a penalty. Like, it's a handball. He's booting everybody else away throughout the entire match. What he does at this moment in time is he throws himself to the ground, right? Because I think that somehow I'm involved in this play. I can't quite remember it. Maybe it's like sweet left foot or something. Plays the ball in. He throws himself to the ground to do a bit of theatrics, and because he said when he pulled Zims back at one point, he says, "Oh, I'm doing it for the fans, giving the fans something," and I'm like, "All right, he's that guy." I can sort of understand it, but it's still like, come on, this is a bit shit, right? So he throws himself to the ground to try and create something, and I'm okay, right? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because I get it, right? But if you are going to do that, if I'm running past, don't then throw your leg out at me to catch me as I'm coming through. Because if you do that, I'll tell you to fuck off, right? Okay? And then I'll remember very quickly that I've got 2 children in the stands who've just seen me tell someone to fuck off. So I very quickly moved away before anyone realised, and then I was going, I'm not getting a booking for this. So yeah, I sort of moved very quickly away, and I think when everyone turned around, I was already away from the scene of the crime, sort of thing. So yeah, So bizarrely, it would have been me stoking things up. But yeah, I had my elbows out a couple of times as well. Mrs. J was like, "Oh, you're a bit more aggressive than I thought you'd be, weren't it?" I was like, "Yeah, exactly. I had a point to prove and everything." It was very clear what you said on the stream. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Almost as bad as the guy with the ponytail. Yeah, he did have to be taken off, yeah. I think you needed to be being given how they were going at you guys. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Duke was straight in. Duke was going for every, like, 50-50. But they were going for, like, 40-60s. Like 30-70s they were going straight in for. So I just thought, do you know what? There's got to be a thing is, nah, fine. If it's going to happen, then fine, let's just do it. Like, it's not normally my style, but we were there and we were in, so let's do it. Dupe was incredible, by the way. You need a team of dupes. Get a dupe in your side, you've got a chance. He was happy to throw himself in at everything. And, like, yeah, it was just class to see. And he's really, really good as well. Callum's a good player as well, by the way. Callum's a very, very good player. I think there was a question earlier about was there anyone who surprised you as to how good they were? Not really. Like, I expected Clates to be good. I expected Zims to be good. I expected Callum to be good because he'd organised it. Like, I think it would be embarrassing if Callum was a bit rubbish, but he clearly wasn't. And he looked good when he went up front as well. He was a physical presence up top, not afraid to put his head on things. Dupe was class. Dupe was really class. Just got himself involved. McKinn's is a good player. I was surprised at how quick Sai Maggio was, actually. Yeah. Like, I know Sai plays a lot of football, but I wasn't expecting him being as quick as he was. Proudy is a brilliant goalkeeper. Brilliant goalkeeper. He made a couple of great saves, and that definitely kept us in it, to be honest. Man of the match for me, as far as I'm concerned. Man of the match. Proudy and their goalkeeper as well, by the way. Their goalkeeper made a couple of great saves. And they were the difference. Otherwise, like, you're looking at like 10 goals in that match. So yeah, kept the score down. Give it to Proudy, absolutely. Robbo looked good on the ball. I think Robbo would have looked better with a bit more time on the ball. I think we were messy in the centre of the park. Like, once we got the ball out wide, this is what we were saying. And again, you can spot this when you're on the bench. So, like, because I went on wide right, so I'm a winger. So I was like, right, I'll take the right side. Everything was going down the left-hand side in the first half. So as soon as I came on, I was like, right. I said to McKinns, who was at right back, I says, if you can get the ball to me, if you can get the ball, just get it down the wing. Just boot it long. I'll chase it. Right? I'll chase it in the channel because no one's on this side. I'm happy to just keep running. And what happened was there was a great moment where McKinn's put the ball down the line. I ran into the channel. Zims came across as well, pulled the defender with him. So I then sort of like pivoted my run back inside and covered the gap that Zims had left. So Zims then pulls it back, and then I completely like fluff my lines and like I missed the ball completely. But I was like, that was the thing, right? Just as long as I could get in those pockets and run, and I was happy running and using a bit of pace, then let's see how the knee holds up and let's go, right? So that worked for us because it was just switch the play. Set pieces, I'm happy taking a corner. Give me the ball, I'll cross it in, not a problem at all. Corners will look fine. Could have done with a little bit more height on one or two of them, but they always hit the penalty spot. I think they were always like in and around centre of the box. Jem was fantastic on the left wing. By the way, he's very, very athletic. Like, obviously, I know he plays football, he wrestles. So, again, in the second half, when they were pushing their fullbacks on for more goals, we had so much space. It was 4-on-2, really, at the start of the second half. They were looking to try and kill the game off early doors. So, every time the ball went out wide, it was just 4-on-2. I was then coming in onside, in at the back post, as I'd done in the first half. Second half, Jem was coming in at the back post. None of us had communicated any of this, by the way. We just saw it play out, and that's sort of how we played. And I think, given the fact that we hadn't played together, to start to develop some understanding is quite good from us. I think that we managed to sort of be like, all right, cool, I know what you can do, I know what you can't do, I know what you can do, let's do a bit more. Like, I think Matt, second yellow card, preferred being at left back than right back. I think he felt more comfortable at left back, but right back it was a bit like, ooh, rabbit in the headlights a little bit. But he tried. He looked good in the first half at left back. I think his confidence knocked when he gave the ball to the young lad who scored the first goal. But again, as Console says, he was aggressive. He was happy to get himself involved. But I just think he found himself a little bit unsure of where he was on the pitch when he was on the right hand side. So I'm guessing he's more of a left footer and therefore didn't feel confident getting the ball out of his feet with the right foot. I'm speaking for him. I could be wrong, but he really, really grafted. He hasn't played for 7 years. Exactly. I've not played for 20. Right. I've not played for 20 years. Right. So I was unsure if I was going to last for an hour, but I made sure I did. And I was unsure if my knee was going to hold up with that first sprint as well. So you'll have seen. I don't know if they showed the warm up at all. Elmad's on the follow. Appreciate it, buddy. Very kind. I don't know if you saw any of the warm up on the stream, but I'm warming up on my own for a little bit. I was warming up on my own for a bit, and it was just trying to make sure I had enough movement in that knee, and twisting and sort of like making sure that I could move at will. I don't look old enough to not play for 20 years. I'm 45. I did my knee when I was 25. Did my ACL. 25, 26, something like that. And then, yeah, like I've not played football since then. I've played the last 6 weeks really, and that's been seven asides just to get back into playing football. You had very good pitch intelligence. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. That's one of the things I'm quite good at. I can read the game well. So I started playing up front and out wide when I was younger, but I play at the back when I play sevens, because of the fact I can see the pitch. And I was like, right, I can see the pitch from there. I can see what's going on. I also thought I marshalled quite well. I shouted out quite a lot, and I was like, right, let's talk people through this and that, which I thought was something that like needed to be done, and I was happy enough to do that as well, and just jump straight in and offer a bit of that. Evening, Gudger, how are you, pal? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Am I keeping the fives up? Yes, I am actually. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to keep the fives and sevens up. That's cool. It was lovely to watch you have a kick about with the boys at the end as well. They loved it. Yeah, I don't know if they're allowed on the pitch or not, but I was like, in you come, right? Just get yourselves up and about, jump on the pitch, have a bit of a kick about. Because if you can't, generally, like, why would you not? Why would you not? Right? So let them have a bit of play about as well, which is it's what you're here for, isn't it? That's what you're there for. But yeah, it was fine. I thought we did well. I thought Sweet Left Foot did good. I thought Rich Owens was surprising. I think that's what he was hoping for. Oh, Rich is a bit quicker than we thought, and he was. So yeah, Rich did good. I think Nerd Phonic was brilliant as well, by the way, as centre back. I think he played the full 90. So he did very well. Very well. I was surprised how aggressive Rich was. I was as well, actually. Yeah. But again, good to see him get his foot in. Who would have thought podcasters can be aggressive footballers? What a weird world. Wouldn't say anyone played bad, really. No, I wouldn't either. I think we played as well as we possibly could. I think there's one or two probably played a bit better than you'd maybe wouldn't. Look, expect is the wrong word, but I think there's one or two people who played better than everyone else. But I think everyone else played pretty decent. Like, do you know what I mean? And essentially, they had 21 players to pick from. We had 16. So, had we had even a couple more and some strikers on the bench, we'd have been able to rotate a little bit more as well, keep our freshness up a little bit, because that hampers you towards the end of the match. There's just like, you're looking at the bench going, who wants to come on? And they're all sat there going, nah, I'm all right, thanks. You're like, okay, cool. I'll play another 10 minutes then, that's fine. And I felt like I felt there was a bit when I was like, right, I'll jump off a little bit. But I was happy to stay on. But I was like, look, you know what, I'll jump back off because I've been on for quite a bit. Just freshen myself up a little bit, get a bit more hydration in me, then jump back out again. I was the only one that had energy pouches. Do you know what I mean? I had these like fucking pouches on the go. So I'm not a dafty, right? I got a lot of minutes. I did. It was rolling subs, Chris, and I think that if you just stay on, then no one does anything about it. The keeper made the difference in that game. Yes, he did. Speaking of which, here he is, by the way. The guy who saves not only penalties but free kicks as well, by the way. Incredible scenes. Awesome performance, by the way, my friend. Awesome. A top penalty save. But you know what? The penalty save was good, right? The penalty save was good. The free kick save was better, because you see that late and you get a second bite of the cherry and you still keep it out. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then I think did you save from Callum's overhead kick as well? There's a few moments where you played really, really well. So good work, my friend. Good work. Duke went for a pint one time, he went off. He did. I heard about that. Callum shot from distance. Yeah, that was tipped over, wasn't it? There was moments where it's like, just, 6 inches here or there. That's what she said. And it's a different game, isn't it? Don't know what happened, just had fun, things went well for me. That's all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be. Have fun and things happen. And yes, apparently went and did a shift behind the bar. So, do you know what I mean? Incredible work. Don't think he realised he'd be back on again. No, I think he started to tweak his hamstring at that point as well. He was like, oh, I'm not sure, because he came on I came back on for him, and he looked at me. So who wants to come on? I was like, I'll jump back on. And yeah, I wasn't playing the dupe role though. I was like, I'll stand out wide with small shin pads, thank you. But yeah, I think overall we did pretty decent, to be honest. Yeah, Clates doesn't have stitches, so that's the bonus. That's the bonus. Zim's, let's say we'll get the X-ray tomorrow. Hopefully is it an X-ray a day possibly? Might be today possibly. So we'll soon find out. But I think he's been live. He's been rewatching it on his stream tonight. So it'll be interesting to see his take on it. Glue's great. My son had to have his head glued last year. Yeah, it's horrible. My son's had one in his eyebrow just there, but it was too close to his eyebrow, so he had to get stitched. So he had to get put to sleep for it. And I was just like, ooh, this is all a bit. It's all a bit. I don't really want to see that, Makes me want to get back into playing fives again. Not played since pre-COVID. Worried now the legs can't cope. They'll cope. Just make sure you do some squats. Make sure you do some stretches. Drink plenty of water. Have lots of protein. You'll be fine. Makes me want to play around 55. Again, no excuse. Their goalkeeper was 107. I think it was. Mr. Musterman, how are you, my friend? How the devil are we? Legs are all right today, thank you. Legs are all right today. Yesterday, They were horrible. And I had to walk around Legoland all day yesterday. So that was a thing. But yes, today we're fine. I've got a little bit of, like, my knee's still a bit tight, and I think there's a bottom part of my hamstring is still quite tight as well. So because I haven't had time to fully stretch out. Everyone mocked me, by the way, for taking a foam roller. But I had to, because I was up at like 5 o'clock on Saturday morning. So I was up at 5 o'clock, and was in the car for past. Drove all the way down to Slough, and got there for 10, I think. Quarter 10, and then we were on the pitch warming up for 10:30. So I was in the players' lounge, rolling out my calves, opening up my hips, with this foam roller, and people look at me going, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm 45. I've driven for 4 hours. I'm rolling this one out, right? I'm rolling this one out." And that's why I had to warm up on my own for a bit to make sure that I could get everything moving and unclick and, as I say, get my gels and stuff in. Have my Rice Krispie square so I got loads of carbs. It was just that I was just like, I had to. My ankle still, I can still hear clicking in my ankle. There's still a bit of air in my ankle, I think. So I need to do that. And let's see, I need to get my hip flexors rolled out again. And that little bit at the bottom of my hamstring just needs a bit of, either get the massage gun in it or the roller on there, because that's still quite tight. But apart from that, though, I think I've got away unscathed. I think. You know, before Sunday, I haven't played 11s for 10 years. Was playing futsal for a couple of years. Goals felt massive. Honestly, man, like I've just said, I think it was just said just before you rocked up. It's been 20 years since I've played. Like, I've played 5s and 7s for the last 6 weeks, but I've not played football in 20 years. 11s would have been when I was like 16, 17, and I was playing for the county. So that's nearly 30 years since I played 11s. What I was surprised at, though, the pitch didn't feel as big as I thought it was going to be, and I was concerned about that. I was concerned about the size of the pitch. I was like, right, this is going to be a problem. And there was a deal on the hooch at Spoons. People were buying 3 bottles at a time. Do you know what, Curacao? I went to go and get some hooch. I bought 2 pints of Guinness as soon as I turned up, and I was all set to go on the hooch. But we all moved to the wheat sheaf instead. And I was like, what the fuck are we going to? Where's my hooch? You know? But yeah, so I've not played 11 since I was like 16, 17. So yeah, I think we've done all right there to get in as far as we've done and to do what we've done. So yeah, we're all right. We're all right. Would I do it again? I think I would. I think I still prefer 7s because you get more of the ball and you can make more of an impact and you're part of the match more. Like, but I think 11s gives you a little bit more time to look at what's going on and you can see what's happening and you can read the game a bit more. So there is a bit more, as I say, yeah, you're not involved constantly on it. Pitch as large as the FA allows. Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, I get that it's big. But I was expecting, for some reason, sprinting up and down the full length would knacker me more than it did. Don't get me wrong, it did, but I was maybe thinking I wouldn't have as much time to recover as well, but I did actually have a bit more time to recover. I wasn't up and down, which was really useful. And certainly not one of the midfield dynamos. So I was all right. The position I had, I was okay. I had a bit of recovery time. So that was good. Disappointed the wheat sheaf didn't have hooch. I did have many Jameson and Ginger to make up for it. Zeep, a pleasure to see you as always. In there, I had no JGLs. You know, my sponsorship should have made me have that. I was too busy having Guinness. I had a few Guinnesses that night. I did have a few Guinnesses. It wasn't grass either. That might have helped. Well, yes and no. Yes and no, Dan. So because it's 4G, one thing I noticed on the match, and you'll see it when you rewatch it. The ball doesn't hold up like it does on grass. So that's part of the reason that Clates gets injured. The ball doesn't hold up. I put the ball in the channel for him, and it's a good ball, right? And he follows it well, but it doesn't hold up. Yeah. So it just slips out, and that's where he collides into the barriers. And there's a moment where I think it's Sweet Left Foot plays the ball through, and I'm onto it, and I'm like starting to pick up speed to get towards it, and I'm like, I'm going for it, and I can just see it just keep rolling. I'm like, the ball's not holding up here. What am I doing? And I'm like, I've arched my run as well to get around it, to get on, and it just rolls out. I'm like, oh, what the hell? That's like not what I had in mind. So I was a bit annoyed at that. We were fortunate that it wasn't as hot as we were told it was going to be. We were told it was going to be at 25 degrees. If it was Legoland weather, we would have been done. Absolutely done. But yeah, there was a bit of humidity in the air. It was all fine. So yeah, not that bad. Not that bad overall. We heard it, didn't see it. Yeah, it was brutal. As I say, that ball's in the channel. He just the ball doesn't stop, and he's not got enough space to stop himself, and just goes over. Didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, though, to be honest. It was just then stands up and I'm like, ugh. That's that's not good. I had to Google the Horlicks quarter, by the way. Oh, what did you find? I hope it is a real thing. What's he wanting? He's on 800 quid. He wants 3,000, 3,500. I mean, I'm sorry, Sanchez. We're not doing that. We could move you out for that sort of money. It's a housing development. It's just former factories. It's now apartments. Oh, I bet it smells malty at night, though. Be lovely, that. Should be an old people's home, shouldn't it, if it's a Horlicks? But in terms of doing it, of playing again, yeah, I think I will. I think I'll have another run out at 11s in some point. But I did some work for it, so it sort of paid off. Like, I was doing intervals, I was doing kettlebells, I got back into the gym again, skipping ropes to the calves. As I say, dropped a few kilos. Not enough kilos, by the way. I've seen some of the videos. Not enough kilos. Next year, though. Oh, next year. Next year I'm going to let a dupe. But with muscles. I did also say as well, by the way, and I mentioned this to Callum on the evening when we're in the pub. In hindsight, and it's easy to say after you've missed a penalty. In hindsight, I should have given him the penalty to take, because it would have meant much more to him to have taken that and scored. So I should have done that. I think I was a bit too much. Like, we had an agreement where if you win a penalty, then you take it. And I think there was a moment. I needed to give myself a moment to think, rather than just react instantly. So yeah, if I'd have had a second thought about it, then I'd have been like, all right, cool, let's let Callum take it, you know. love to give it a go next year, but I'll just be better off shouting from the sidelines at 51. I think we could do with an extra couple of bodies, Dave. But who knows what's happening next year. I'm starting planning losing weight, getting fit if we play again. That's not an if. It's not an if, buddy. I think that's a when, isn't it? But yeah, no, I think, like I say, man, I think you did awesome. You did awesome. It was great saves. So yeah, if you're on a regime for next year, oof, you're going to be some keeper. I had to go for the night. It was lovely to meet you, Mrs. Jabe, after the run off. Dave was nice as well. Yeah. See? It was a pleasure seeing you. You were just like, I've turned up, I'm about to get told off. I was like, keep your head down. Keep your head down. The penalty saving one. See, I've got to own this. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Said to Mrs. J, I was like, can you send me the video? She's like, you don't need the video. I was like, I have to post the video of like, I missed it. She's like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do. I was like, you got to. Do you know what I mean? It's like getting sacked. You can't like hide away from it. You gotta be like, right, this happened. Deal with it. And it's not a miss. It's a save. It's a penalty save. Yeah. Wasn't a bad penalty. Stuck foot through it. Yeah. It's just too close. Just too close and not high enough. You know, keeper does what keeper's got to do. Do you know what I mean? He's in the right position, goes the right way, gets a big hand on it. Spot Mrs. J and the kids on Robbo's vlog. Excellent. Evening, Llama. How are you, my friend? Welcome. How the devil are you, sir? Hope you're good. It's an absolute pleasure to see you, sir. Has the weekend been fun? What's happening in Lamaville? I'll have to play next time. I fear it'll be more detriment than a help. I mean, I thought that as well, to be honest, but turns out I wasn't as much of a detriment as I thought I'd be. So there we go. There you go. How's life? FM Sunderland supporting? Well, I mean, we mentioned this at the start of the stream, Llama. I was under the impression the Premier League was meant to be difficult. I thought everyone kept telling me that the Premier League had the best teams in the world, and it was the greatest league ever, and there's no way a team like Sunderland could compete. And I kept saying, no, this is nonsense. The Premier League is rubbish. You know, half of the league is crap and wouldn't do well in the Championship. And thankfully, we got to prove that by playing a team called West Ham, who, not sure if you're familiar with their work, Llama, but West Ham are not a good football team. And Sunderland seem like they might actually be a decent football team. So, yeah, smash them, made them look stupid. We were top of the league for most of Saturday. And by the way, the best thing happened when I went home after Luffy. Thank you, my friend. 29 months on the subs. Very, very kind. So I went back after we'd watched. I went back to watch the second half of the Slough game. Took Mrs. J and the kids to the hotel, and put them in. I went back out, had a pint with everybody, and watched the scores come in. I went back and mentioned to Eldest Jameson. I was like, right. I says, just so you know, Sunderland's top of the Premier League. And he was like, no, Liverpool are. And I was like, no. Sunderland are top of the Premier League, right? And he goes, no. I says, well, we won 3-0, so we are. And he's like, but we won 4-2. And I was like, yes, but there's a thing called goal difference, right? Now, there's 2 goals between 4 and a 2, and there's 3 goals between a 3 and a 0, which means that Sunderland are top of the league. And at that moment, he started crying and shouted the words which I love hearing from him. The Premier League is stupid. And I was like, he's right. I've raised him correctly. The Premier League is stupid. And he cried. And Mrs. J had to console him for a little bit. But yeah, he's right. The Premier League is stupid. And we will celebrate winning it at the end of the season. So, yeah, there you go. Premier League stupid, everyone. Some people wouldn't revel in the fact they've made their child cry, but I'll revel. I will revel. What was the moment you decided to go back out for more pints? Oh no, that was when I came back in. I came back in to go, should we go for tea? TJ's goal completed. Oh yeah. Like if at that moment he then refused to support Liverpool ever again, that would have been it completed. But yeah, no, he still won't throw those Liverpool shirts in the bin yet. I'm asking, but he's not having it. One day. All we need now is Sunderland to beat Liverpool, and I will fucking like. Do you know that Stan's dad in The Sims in South Park with the computer screen. It'll be that. Ian in Better Cage, welcome. How did you enjoy the Slough match? Slough match was good. I thought only for me, of course. I thought I held my own. I thought I didn't do too badly. Do you see the pace of our oldest player when he came out of the goal, running down the right wing? Yeah. Was that your goalkeeper who then would decide to be an outfield player like Georgie Campos? Loved it. He had a right turn of pace. He would have fit in our team, to be honest, because we needed an extra bit of pace. Got an extra ectoplasm. Yeah, exactly. Oh, also as well, the following morning, sat in the hotel bedroom, and Eldest Jameson wanted to watch Match of the Day, and Sunderland were on first because they always put the league leaders on first, and they were on first, and then it had mentioned the fact there was a minute's silence for Diego Jota, and we've not told him that Diego Jota's dead yet, so that was a nice way of him finding out. Did I meet any of the FM community people for the first time? Have you met everyone before? Do you know what, Lara? I met McKinns for the first time. I've not met McKinns, and he is just as lovely as I hoped he would be. Mrs. JST was taller than she thought. I was like, I think he's going to be... I know he's tall. She thought he was going to be a short king. But he is. He's very tall. He is very tall. And he is very, very lovely. Very lovely indeed. First time meeting Zims. First time meeting Wolfie. First time meeting Proudy. Great goalkeeper, Proudy. First time meeting D-Boy as well, actually, in State Bake. Not met them before. First time meeting Kev, the United City. Oh, my word. What a lovely moment that was. Mrs. J loved meeting the United City, by the way, as well. So that was beautiful. And it was nice to see people as well, like, on the fan side of things. So Gudja, of course, I met Gudja a few times before. Kirazar was there in the stands. Not the first time meeting you, Gudja. You've known me longer than content creation. You knew me through comedy. So Kirazar was there. Who else was there? Saz. Met Saz. We met Zeep. I've met before as well. Obviously, it was good. It was nice. It was nice. I liked it. I think I'll do it again. Kev's the one I was saddest on missing out, I think. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I would have been upset missing Kev, to be honest. I did like seeing Dave Gudja 3-0 down, though. That was decent. It's fine, Gudja. It's fine. Don't worry. You get to enjoy the championship next year. Great league. Great league. It's a long season. I know it is, Dave. I know it is. It's a long season for you lot. Yeah. With Callum Wilson up front, what can possibly go wrong? Yeah. Nice to meet all of you. It was nice to meet you as well, Pat, my friend. Nice to meet you as well. It was lovely. It was lovely. And your boys were all good as well, so it was nice to sort of shake hands at the end of it and say we all got through it. Most of us unscathed. Did Mrs. J have a good time? She did. And Mrs. J and Pog sat together, and Pog helped look after the kids, which was really, really nice. So Mrs. J had never met Pog before, so I think them two have set up a nice little friendship, which is lovely. So that's always a good thing to see, in it, you know, when you got Matt and Pog out. So even Tristan, good to see you, buddy. Tommy, how are you, friend? Hope you're good. So yeah, it was great. It was really, really nice. Really nice. I think everyone was on their best behaviour, including me. And yeah, I didn't even say anything that would get me cancelled. Denise Van Houten wasn't there, I don't think. Anyway, didn't see her. All the chat makes me more good. I couldn't get down. Yeah, it was decent. It was decent, you know. You got a bit irate in the second half of some of the tackles. I did. Shouted at a man who fouled me. And I'd do it again. Didn't accuse anyone of anything of being boring. Oh, well, yeah, I had my... to be fair, under my shirt was this t-shirt that said USA is boring. And if I'd have scored, I'd have flashed it. Just to see if it would on TikTok. I love the fact that people are now being like, oh, do you know what? The TJ's a bit more angry than we'd expect. And I'm like, well, I can be. You also kicked the ball at someone who wouldn't retreat 10 yards. Yeah, exactly. Dickhead. You know. To be fair, he wasn't moving. And I was like, fine. So, and he wasn't going back 10 yards. And he's the guy who scored a hat-trick, by the way. Really good player. But he wouldn't move. And I heard someone shout, just twatting at him. I went, fine. Bang. Straight back at him. It was only when someone suggested it, I was like, yeah, all right. Why not? And then I had a bit of a battle with the guy who was the left. It was the left back. That was interesting. I saw he came on as a sub in the second half. I'm sure he was there in the first half. But he comes on and he taps his shoulder. He goes, "Love the podcast, by the way, mate." I was like, all right, thanks for that. Yeah, they had 12 men for 20 minutes. Apparently so, right? Like I hadn't realised they'd had 12 men for that long. Because I think you got like 5 minutes or 10 minutes maybe. I don't know. The thing with the suit man, you get an extra man and they stay on for a certain amount of time. I don't know how long it's for. I didn't check the rules. But if they had more players for longer, fair enough, whatever. That's the referee's got to sort that out. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's nothing I can say. That's nothing we can say. It's just... Never mind. You know? Lad who scored the hat-trick, lad his head screwed on most of the game. Yeah, I mean, look. He's a good player. He's a very good player. And the tall ginger lad as well was a very, very good player. And then there's I think they've got a semi-pro in the team as well, like a young blonde lad or whatever. But hey, you know what? Like, that's what it's all about. Like, you know, you play against people who are actually quite decent. You're like, oh, all right, fair enough. No one knew we had 12 on the pitch. Honestly, nobody had a clue. Like, I'm saying as well, having played as part of the opposition, I didn't know. I didn't know. I've got no clue. If you had 12, you had 12. If we had 9, we had 9. Who cares? Blame the officials. 100%. You fancy the CDM role next time? I mean, that's a bold statement, Tommy. You've got some competition to try and get yourself in there, that's for certain. Blame Tom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the officials needed to know. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think it's as easy as just saying I'll play there. Maybe it is actually. I don't know. I've got no idea. I don't know what Callum's selection criteria is at the minute. I know this year I got asked, but next year it might just be a case of people asking, going, "Can I play?" I'll tell you what, I'll turn up and play. Callum's goal may not have been offside. We've had a VAR review in the chat. We're led to believe it's not offside as well. We've heard similar. I've not rewatched it, but we've heard similar that it's not offside as well. But again, that you win some, you lose some. It's just that's the way that happens, isn't it? It's all part of football. Yeah. Can I ask, do you delegate hiring your staff to your technical director? No, I do it myself, Thomas. Noticed the bench was light with numbers and with 2 injuries. Basically, I said to Callum, if you needed next year, I'll happily don some boots for the first time in 16 years. Everyone gives it the big one. They're like, oh, 7 years, 16 years, 20 years here? Come on. Do you know what I mean? 20 years. 20 years worth of not playing. And granted, I did look like I lost a little bit of pace and also gained quite a few kilos. But still, right? First few yards are in your head, which is quite handy given the fact that I can't run after it. Might only last 20 minutes, I'll give it a go. It's not good enough. We need players who can play the full thing now. Like, we need energy. Energy. Are we all bragging about how shit we are? No, Dan, we're not. We're saying how good we are. Welcome in, by the way, buddy. Another one of the soldiers. Pleasure to see you, my friend. And also, do you know what, Dan? A pleasure to meet you. Because we hadn't done that before. We hadn't done that previously. But now we have met. And you are just as lovely as I hoped you'd be. So that was wonderful. Yeah. So thank you for that. And it's nice to see you as well. And I hope you enjoyed Saturday, by the way, as well. It was good. Wonderful seeing your face in person. Agreed. It's nice. We were all in there. In the trenches, we're in the dugout actually for the first 10-15 minutes, and then after that, then we were allowed on the pitch to do our thing. Too many young lads on their team. I suggest it becomes a veterans match next time. Well, this is the thing. Like, content creation is not a young person's game, really, is it? Unless you're Robbo. Like, Robbo was the wonder kid of the team because he's 23, and Robbo brought the average age of the team down considerably. I brought it up quite a lot as well, of course. Had a lovely time, but more importantly, how was Legoland? Legoland was great. Really good. Baking hot. The kids had a great time. I had a good time as well. Mrs. J had a good time, which is also really, really important. And she says hello, by the way. It's for everyone that she's met. So she enjoyed meeting people as well, which is wonderful. I did suggest earlier to Callum we either need to convince some young fit lads to start or Antoine Griezmann. Yeah. I mean he could probably play, I reckon. Davy Moyes isn't happy. Well, this is the problem with the Premier League, isn't it? Everyone says it's good, and look at that. 2 promoted sides have beaten established Premier League teams on match day 1. Your league's shit, mate. Yeah, it's rubbish. That's why a vets team's the way forward. No, it's not. It really isn't. Nobody needs to see a team of me's not running around. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason people don't watch Sunday League football, and it's for that. It's for that. Walking football is not a spectator sport. Did you see their older lads? They were good. Yeah, I think it's because they've played football, like, a lot. Like, I noticed this when we went to when I started going dads v dads, and I was expecting it to be like, me essentially, like people who've not played for God knows how long, and then I realised that what we were up against was dads who have kids who are like 21 or whatever, and have kept playing football for 20 years, and I'm like, This is awkward. This is definitely awkward. I was kind of hoping you'd be just as rubbish as I am. And they weren't. No. But as I say, you know, we gave it our all. We did what we had to do. We had fun, raise money for charity. Exactly. That's what it's all about, right? It's 100% what it's all about. And as I said earlier, it was better for the Slough lot to win because for them it means more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's their pitch, it's their team, it's their moment. It would have been embarrassing if they'd have lost to a bunch of Football Manager creators. Let's be honest. Like, you can't hold your head up in the stadium at that point and be like, did you just lose to a bunch of people who we're not entirely sure whether or not these people even have like lower torsos? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's embarrassing. I'm gonna get drunk with Cozza Bob. What a treat! Bob's a good pint, isn't he? Cozza Bob is a good pint. Like, I'm a big fan of that boy. Yeah, we played better than the actual Slough team. I mean, not for me to say, man. Not for me to say. But yes. It's a shame they couldn't do anything after us. I think there was too much pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone gave their all in the charity match, and I think the home team were just looking, going, "Oh dear, I hope they don't expect the same level from us." Yeah. You're fizzing with ideas for FM Con. Yes, I am Llama. And Callum and I had a conversation about putting a football match element into FM Con as well. So yeah, there's more ideas. There's more ideas. It's got my creative juices flowing, my creative hooches flowing. Two lovely goals scored by headers. The first one's headed sweet, perfect. West Ham's goalie could have been Mr. Fantastic. Still not able to stretch that long to get to it. Ooh, okay. Bob looks like a real ale kind of guy. The sort who drinks who goes to beer festivals and sings 40 different beers. Yeah. I think you've got Bob to a T. As I say though, he's a good pint, this Bob. Bob was wonderful. He was. I didn't get as much chance to spend much drinking time with Zeep. I had some drinking time with Zeep, but I imagine Zeep can go deep on the Guinness and deep on the hooch. I heard some rumours that people were getting back in at 2 a.m. as well, which, well done everyone, by the way, for that. If ever Kev decides to have his own chat show, then there's definitely a career there for this. I love Kev. Kev is the best. Kev does need his own chat show, to be honest. Like, I think the world would be better if that was the situation. Right, so Sonia is not going to be playing going forward. Dio is 31, so he's a bit too old. Where's our youngsters? We said we had some youngsters to bring through this year. Let's see. Oh, was that Rasta Roy Hodgson? Part of me doesn't need to know what that means. but I'm probably going to agree. Sai was the biggest surprise. In what sense, Tommy? What, as in, like, the fact that he was decent, or? I said more, but I can't see who you're managing. We're managing Sochaux in in France. We are second division of France, Ligue 2. We've been Journeyman, so we've been around the place. We've been to Finland, we've been to Romania, we've been to Poland, Sweden, and now here in France. Imagine Roy Hodgson now. Imagine him saying Rasta stuff. There you go. Perfect. Okay, cool. I'm good. I'm on board with that. I'm very, very on board with it. Albert Brunel, let's move you up as well. Didn't expect to be so composed and technical. No, I don't think so either. I was a bit surprised. Well, I mean, I know he plays a lot of football, does Si. But there is sometimes when you go, yeah, you can play a lot, but are you any good? The answer was yes. The answer was yes, he is quite good. So yeah, so there's that. Let's put Castal in for Kamara. Kamara can go there. I reckon if someone named a random colour, a random food, and a random woodland creature, it would create a combination, and TJ would say, I'm on board with that. Go for it. Go for it. It does sound like the sort of thing I'd agree to, though. You're right, Llama. I'm just quite positive, aren't I? Blue spaghetti hedgehog. I've drank them before. I've definitely drank that. Red beans raccoon. No. Oh. Grey beans raccoon. Now we're talking. Yeah. Red chutney pine martin. That's my name on the internet. Callum does brilliantly getting it all together. Agreed. Callum's done a lot of good work. And rightfully so, deserves all the plaudits as well. And he got very emotional at the end of the match as well, which is understandable. Again, I had a chat with him. He's like, I don't know what happened. I was like, it's completely understandable what's happened. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, do people think I'm an idiot? I was like, no, it's good. But yes, no, he's done superb. Chris, how are you, pal? Thoughts on Saturday? Personally, I thought we were absolutely excellent. I agree, Chris. I think we were brilliant. West Ham is shit. The Premier League's rubbish. We might as well just win the league. Might as well. You know, we're going to prove that it can be done. And then everyone's going to sit there and be like, oh, that's not what we thought, is it? It's not what we expected. We were of the opinion that Sunderland would be rubbish. But we know differently. See? That's the thing. Maybe I'm a let's see what's about to happen kind of guy. Maybe. I think I'm open to possibilities, Jason. I'm not closed. I've got a growth mindset. Yeah. I'm not drawn in by the same confines everyone else has. Was that the goalkeeper heading the ball away there? I think it was, wasn't it? Oh, good save. Let's work the ball in, shall we? Jefferson clears away. On as far as forward. So we playing SV Reed. So, half-time in a friendly match. 0-0, which is fine. We're okay for that. So, Llama, you must be happy as well, by the way, for Birmingham City getting a... Did you get a last-minute winner? I think you did. I think you did, didn't you? One man was trying to get a target man in, just someone who's big lump to stick on towards the end of the game and hold the ball up. That would be the dream, Chris. That would be the dream. We've already got proper bruiser centre-halves, so now we've got Xhaka in midfield, who I love the fact was busy like shouting at people when we were 2-0 up. Just going like, right, focus. Not letting anybody celebrate. Brilliant. Apparently as well at the start, you know, when they do the lineups and that and the handshakes, apparently he went all the way down and like shook everyone of the West Ham players' hands. And then when he got to the end of the line, he shook every single one of the Sunderland players' hands, and had a little message to them as well. So I was like, that's class. That's class. That's a captain right there. You know? Lamas is very happy. Good game. Came out the ground at the end of the match. Someone ran over at me, tapped me on the shoulder. It was Dean Gripton. Oh, look at that. Llama mixing with the stars. Love that, Llama. Love it. Hope Dean's well. He sent me a message a few weeks ago, actually. He sounds like he's in a good... He sounds like he's well. Right, we've got an injury to a striker. Filali's injured. Let's put Fever on. We're not going to bring Sonia on because he wants to leave. Diabate can go on. So time to have a look at some of the options, shall we? See if Sefferson can come on. That's how young lads look like. Kwamo. Left-sided. He said, let's see, he can play wing. That'll do. Niakete for Amara. Tete for Petitjean. Yeah, why not? To be fair, the result doesn't really matter at this point. So it doesn't work out. It's not a problem. He was in good spirits, he said he was happy this time last year. I think we forgot what a tough time would have been for the staff. Oh, agreed. Like, it was... I had a similar conversation with Sweet Left Foot on Saturday as well. And he seems happier now. I mean, I was talking to him during the whole plight of things, you know, when things were tough. And I kept saying, like, you know, just a little message going like, we're thinking of you. Like, you know, not everyone's being horrible. There are some people who are still nice. And he's like, yeah, it's a bit tough. But, you know, we've come out the other side now. You know, there now is an FM26. We've all done reaction videos now as well. Even me, having been told off in my group chat for mocking them. Yeah. And then swallowed one and went, all right, fine. I'll do one. 5 minutes, that'll do. We spoke for about 45 minutes with Mr. Diz about the whole subject, and I went, oh shit, Diz is back actually, let's talk about Diz. Oh, keep us come for it. Von Balls with a header though. Reaction video on yet? Yeah. YouTube, yeah. Posted an incredible 45-second reaction video. I think that's what it needs to be. I think Musterman said he was going to do one that just went, cool. That was it. Because there's nothing really to say. Absolute sellout. I know, Musterman. I know, I am a sellout. I'm an absolute shill now, aren't I? I'm a corporate hack. Xhaka told his teammates, I shook their hands, I felt fear, let's get them. Do you know what? If he did say that, brilliant. We've given away a penalty. Do you find it strange talking to people that you know by a username, or did you find out their actual names? I know their actual names, Tommy. I know their actual names. But for internet anonymity, often I'll refer to them by their pseudonym. Unless they're happy to be called by their full name. On a podcast, I tend to forget and call them by their normal name and be like, soz about that. But why Callum's real name is Frederick? Don't tell them. Don't tell them. But yeah, it is. Because literally the question is, well, why Callum then? Of all the names to pick. Yeah. The mad scientist's real name isn't the. Yeah, just putting it out there. It's not the. Nope. You might think it is, but nope. Oh, Daguerre, formerly of Constanta, went to Panathinaikos. I suspect he's not even a scientist. Do you know what? I think you might be right, Zeep. Yeah. Dr. Benji, not a real doctor. FM Llama is a llama, though. So there is that. He'd want 21 grand a week. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not happening. Correct, he got the Who's to prove it. Mm-hmm. He's constantly spitting at passers-by. There is that as well, yeah. We've tried to tell him to not do it, but no, he insists. One thing Mrs. J said, she was surprised at how at the height of some of the FM creators as well. She was like, I thought everyone would be shorter. She was surprised Rich Owens was as tight, was as tall as he was. She also said she thought he wouldn't be as clean, which I think is a bit. I was like, I can see why you've said that. Did she think Rich would be smaller? Oh yeah, I mean, if she said that she thought she was surprised he was taller, then yeah. As FM creators known to be short or something. I don't know. Like, I think because you can only see from like here up, you've got no real idea, have you? As to sort of who's tall and who's not, I guess. So some people maybe give off big person energy or like tall person energy, but Dupe's a fair size. Dupe's pretty big. If I ever think of Callum's pick of Rich and Chuckle, yes. I'm an average height. I'm not a tall man. I'm not a short man. I'm an average height. Cy Maggio's just a little man. No one's as small as Salty B though. That's the thing. Yeah. Little wee Salty B. That's why he managed in Indonesia. And even then, he's not the tallest there. Remember meeting Mr. Tinney and couldn't believe how tall he was. Some of them are, because you think Mr. Tinney, you think Mr. Tiny, but you know, how small is Salty B? Oh, like 5'3", 5'4", yeah, 4'4". Yeah, he's the size of a small child. Like my 7-year-old was coming up to Salty B's nose. I'm a little, and people are always disappointed by that. Are you little, llama? I don't think you are. You certainly didn't strike me as a little person when I met you. Salty the Man Mountain. Salty's a molehill of a man. 5'9" is average, I'm 5'10". Oh, in that case, I'm taller than average then. 5'9" with a very stiff heel. Are you? I thought you were a little bit taller than that. Yeah. I'm 5'11". 6'4" with my hair up. So you had high heels on. You did actually, and they looked lovely. Sparkly as well, which is I thought was a nice touch. Llama's got a giant presence. Who was the guy on the wing who was 6'3"? What, for us? McKinn's? Maybe McKinn's was like fullback. McKinn's is tall. He's very tall, isn't he? Yeah, he was very, very big. Said to McKinn's when I came on, I was like, just ping the ball down the channel. I'll run onto it. He's like, all right, cool, lovely. that's our tactic sorted. Steve Sidwell says you better lol blame Newport, and I'm 6.5. 6.5. Where? Steve Sidwell said you are better lol blame Newport, and I'm 6.5 foot. 6'5.5". I'm drunk. I suspected as much. I think we have to get VAR out on that one. That's maybe revisit that. Look at all the words. Right, look at all the words. Right, pick them out. Get a highlighter pen if you have to. Right. Work out which one of those words needs to be in the sentence, and then with a different color highlighter, color on the ones that don't need to be there. Just see where we can go. Yeah. Should have got Steve Silver to play. Technically, he's a streamer. Well, you know, conversation may have happened. But then I did see a video of him this week. And his first touch was dreadful, so no, he wasn't going to get in. Let the chat decide as VAR. I think the chat are probably all going to agree that whatever you're writing is clearly offside. Evening Holster, don't worry. And don't worry about how tall you all are. I'm still coming to terms with the fact that you all have legs. Yeah, exactly. It's true. We do. We all of us. Right, Verhege's not going to leave on loan. That's a shame. Red card, 15 game ban, easy. If you're banning yourself, then that's definitely something. And just like, I'll be honest, lads, I've made a terrible mistake. I'll admit to doping. Okay, just right. I'll come back next year. Right. It's hard. It's harsh. But the punishment fits the crime. Punishment fits the crime. Right. Tell this lad it isn't a democracy. It's not a democracy around here. It's true. It's not. We got rid of that. Democracy slowed us down. Look where all these other countries are with democracy. Ruined. Banned democracy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just used too much logic, yeah. It just got in the way, didn't it? If you're using logic, then where is just, you know, like reacting just with emotion and without fully thinking something through? That's the real quiz, right? Right, young players signing contracts. That's what we like. As you can see, our pre-season's going quite slow because we're not really looking at too many players, but we have to get rid of some players first, and then we can potentially move on from there. as Churchill said, democracy is the worst form of government except for all the other forms. I mean, oh, Thomas, if you're quoting Churchill, then like you're really struggling. You know, Churchill wasn't a good one, was he? He was a bit of a bad one. Still not as bad though, I'll be honest, as watching the quarterback show on Netflix. And Mrs. J was a fan of the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings, and they had what's he called, Kirk Cousins. They were following him, and the first thing Kirk Cousins said was, "There's a quote by Margaret Thatcher," and Mrs. J just went, "Well, he sounds like a cunt, doesn't he?" Just like that. Get out of my football club. Not bothered. I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. He's one of them. And she was like, nope, not on my watch. So yeah, don't think Mrs. J is overly impressed. Churchill was finding the insurance adverts. That is true, actually. That's a good point. It's the nodding dog of British politics. Again, I think Churchill, he only gets the credit because of his war win record. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he'd only got the semi-finals, I think people would think of him as like a Gareth Southgate character, and it would be like other countries would look and go like, he was good, you know. And then like, all the British would be like, yeah, he didn't get any wars done though, did he? You know what I mean? Only got the semi-finals. You know, could never really, you know, just couldn't get it done in the big wars, and it was boring as well. It was like boring, like little 1-0 wins against like countries, you know. We never went out and just like, you know, like probably blew anybody away. Here we go. Welcome in, new people. Guy was a drunk cunt who took credit for everyone else's work and he wasn't funny. Hang on, are we on about me? I have never taken credit for anybody's work. Defensive war tactics, players of the counter-attack. Yeah. Flat back 500,000. Blew the Kurds away. Yeah, easy qualification group though, Zeke, you know what I mean? No, they never had a difficult qualification, did they? You know, look at Scotland. Scotland never qualified for any wars. Yeah. Typical English qualifying, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Scotland had a hard group. Unfortunately, just like, oh god, yeah. Well, we've missed out on another war. Never mind. Then eventually, you know, no Scotland, no party. So. Yeah. And that was the year that they brought the sticker albums out. Yeah. To commemorate it. So yeah, make of that what you will, I suppose, really. It's very rare I go into this level. Actually, no, it's not. This happens all the time. Won one war and lived off that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In fairness, though, he did. You know, he was always going to be like, you know, he was always going to be treated as the guy who like missed a penalty once. So some people were never going to get on board with him, and always he went to war like wearing like a Marks and Spencer suit. So, you know, kids up and down the country trading shiny Goebbels. Yeah. Oh, look at that! Oh, you've got the Russia shiny. My chat has gone into Keith Chegwin's marriages in 3 of my last 5 streams. You're doing fine tonight. I have missed your streams the last few days, Llama, and I did see that you posted about Keith Chegwin. I was like, standard fare. Next week, I've got to say, by the way, we've got a stream tonight, stream Wednesday, and then no more for a week. No more for a week. I'm on holiday. I'm on my holidays. So someone else is going to have to pick up the daft mantle from somewhere. Remember when Keith Chegwell did the Naked Game Show? We discussed that. We did discuss that on a Llama stream once. That was a thing. I'm of the belief that wasn't meant to be naked, but Keith Chegwell was already naked. And it was like, well, you're gonna have to film it now. I've already got my clothes off. I'm not putting them back on for anybody. Yeah, right, fine. Get trading standards out here. I'll talk to them. Where are we off to? We're off to Edinburgh. So, well, roundabout Edinburgh area. East coast of Scotland. Should be nice. So we're going to take the kids to see the last week of the Edinburgh Fringe, when everyone is broken and hates their lives. So we're going to bring two really energetic kids there and go like, go on kids, ruin their lives. Not really. We're going to go and get them to see some comedy shows for kids. That'll be fun. We'll do that. We've got some friends to see, we've got some family to see. We've got the zoo. Go and enjoy the animals. No, see the animals. You've got to pay extra for that. And then just have a bit of a roll around, to be honest. Go and see what's happening. Go and chase some haggis in the hills. See if I can catch a haggis for the kids. Yeah, it's going to be alright. It's going to be decent. It's a week away. Then I'm back for a couple of weeks, and then I've got to go away for a week for work. So I miss that. So yeah, Mrs. J's big birthdays in amongst that as well. So quite a bit going on. Kids go back to school. February taps in. Back post. Mrs. J hits 30. She does. She does. Tell you, she was out mingling like a social butterfly, Mr. Llama, on Saturday. There she was, being like, "Oh, hello, I'm Mrs. J." In fact, to be honest, it wasn't that. People going, "That's Mrs. J." Yeah. It's like, yep, there she is, having a great time with eldest and youngest Jameson. The Mrs. J, that's the one. I think my favourite interaction was when she got introduced to Saz, and she went, "You make the skins, right?" And I was like, "That's class. That's pretty cool." I thought, "Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Good work, Mrs. J." I believe she was quite excited to meet Zeep as well, from what I understand. Zeep, who was sporting his Houston shirt as well, which is always a fine choice. A fine choice. But yes, I think she was very, very happy to meet the United City FM as well. That was her highlight. And she just found a second yellow card, so. Oh, look at this. Liquid football from Sochaux. Sorry, TJ, I'm divorcing. I've met all your mates and I think I can do better. Yeah, fair. It's reasonable. I mean, she didn't have to meet any of them to think that. You know what I mean? You can walk around a supermarket. I'm sure she'll find some eligible bachelor there. Yeah. Imagining Kev having a circle of people around him just listening to his stories. Yeah, he has a presence, does old United City FM. Right, come, gather round, kids, gather round. Let me tell you some stories. And stories were told. Oh, look at this. Should have been a goal. Should have been a goal. Let me tell you about the time TJ got banned from TikTok. Yes, that's it. That is a... I don't know when that's going to... Oh, I don't know when that's going to be resolved. Possibly. Maybe after holiday. Maybe after holiday. We'll see. Kev's the best kind of granddad, I bet. Kev's not old enough to be a granddad, surely. He's only 27. He's great with the interviews after being asked to fill in just for the game. Oh, was he not meant to be doing it? Was it literally like a last minute thing? Oh, I mean, that's... shows the level of professionalism for the man, doesn't it? Just turns it on. Yeah? What a pro. What a pro. Oh, pick that one out. Jefferson. What a goal that is. I'm not sure who we're playing, but I mean, we're doing all right. Presumably they're an incredible side, I'm guessing. Ah, Progress Nidacorn, of course. Of course. Obvious when you see it. Again, isn't it? Yourself as a good cross the back post. Favour with a header. It's all us as well, isn't it? Prates, Jefferson. That'll do. Give him another goal. What's Bressard plays? Bressard a DLP, is he? Yes, he is. Bressard for Amara. Turkman, do we bring Turkman on? Broski for Prates. Molina unambitious. Maybe don't bring him on then. Not Curtis Fair. Is there a big difference between console and PC and laptop? Massive difference. Massive difference. Main difference, I guess, is the amount of time you can play. I think it's 30 years, I think, on the console. I think there's only like a certain amount of leagues you can load in. And then, but I guess it's going to depend upon the ability of your PC and the ability of your laptop. You know. Even Jabaru, good to see you. How are we? Welcome. Hope life's treated you well. Are you still on the week sheaf, or have you moved on? How much have I spent on my PC? Don't know. Do you remember, Jeb? But a couple of grand, probably, I think. It was a while. It was a while ago, but it was decent enough. 54 months for Jebberoo. Look at that. That's big numbers. Big numbers. Appreciate the support. Appreciate that. This is divisible by something big. Yeah. Divide that by 12. That's how many years. Whatever it works out to. I don't do numbers really. OG Drive Instructor's PC. Yeah, exactly. There was loads. Thankfully, we didn't attempt to try and stream on a laptop. That was my original YouTube career, trying to cut and edit videos on a laptop and make a podcast. Look at me now, living in a world where people go, "Has you got legs?" Oh yeah. Like the not Lieutenant Dan from Saving Private Ryan of the Football Manager community. Oh, what a ball that is. Diabate brings it down. What a strike. What a goal. There's his hat-trick. Look at this. I know it's a friendly, but brings that ball down well and then just twats it, doesn't he? There's no other way to describe that. Oh, he does a hard shot. He twats it. Just like that guy. Great free kick. That will work. That's a successful friendly outing, I believe. (6-1). Yeah, that's good enough. I think Solomon Naomi's going to want a little bit more than £1 grand. Well, we can go for it, but where is he? 18 years old. Formerly of Tottenham, wanted by Bournemouth. Let's have a go, shall we? £3 grand. £3 grand's not too bad, actually. 2.7. That could be even that. Well, no, we're not gonna get him, are we? Let's be honest. Let's not get too excited about that. I know we don't know too much about him, but surely he's got to be decent. Nicholas Hausler looks like he's going to be probably the best choice. Right. Somerset still as an option. Wins his tackles, doesn't win as many headers, but he's a 5'7". I think we go for him again. You know, that leader mentality is what we want. Usman Gay's gone off to join Dijon. It's a shame he's had to go, but it's that that quote-unquote Moneyball effect, isn't it? %'s got a generation foot as well. Niobe's gone to Bournemouth. Of course he has. That makes sense, doesn't it? City Diagne needs to be loaned out. Well, offered out, I think. Same with Bawata, who's earning a lot of money. And Fatah as well. Right. There we go. And Saunier. Who's gonna go? Who's gonna come in for Saunier? I don't want to lose him, but Krumovgrad. Is he gonna go to Bulgaria? Hamburg's there. Potentially. Nicholas Hushler has joined as a coach. Try and get a bit more backroom staff in, try and like set things up a little bit. Ostend of San Kamal, 3.4 million. Yeah, it's that wages, isn't it? Wages just a bit too expensive for us. Fred Talby's still there though. He seems interesting enough, but he's wanted by Dijon as well, so he's maybe gonna go somewhere else. 3.7's a lot of money. £6'5", now that works better, doesn't it? Mario Bermudez. If we don't pay anything on his wages, that's very, very good. Plus there's that Moroccan lad that I like the look of as well. So we can maybe go for him. Oh, look at that. Christopher Anderson sacked as manager of Häcken. 12th. We said it was going to be a tough job, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, their finances still insecure, so presumably things haven't exactly changed. No, he's still in charge. Third term there. Just keeps taking money out of the club. MCG, congrats on the weekend. Shame about the result. You all did brilliantly. Thank you, MCG. I would agree with that. I think we did all do great. Mirovaca, £250,000. Has a slight interest in speaking. Do we want to try and sell him or not? I feel as though we should probably keep him. Right. Tete wants to leave. Fine. Sorry for being focused on Football Manager for a second. Feels weird, doesn't it, to be like, well, look at him taking note of what he's doing. I mean, not massively. No. Unacceptable. I know. Who am I? That's what happens, isn't it? I've been away for a weekend and I've got ideas above my station. Absolutely scandalous. It is. Who does he think he is? Outspoken, confrontational. Sounds like me. But also a realist. So, you know. Yes, I'll say a bad thing. I'm aware I'll get in trouble for it. Should we play this last match, shall we? Bourgeois number 18. Okay, fair enough, you can have it. Usman Chan wants number 2. I mean, Pratt's got number 2, so you can have number 6. In fact, does Gilmar Pratt's not really need a number 2? Would people get angry if I give number 6 to a fullback? They'd get very angry, wouldn't they? I think people would get angry. Change a couple of numbers. Nothing major. Nothing major. Just do that for a couple of minutes. Then we'll have the Zwolle match. And then I think that'll be it, actually. And we'll be back on Wednesday. So we'll do this. Yildirim, predicted top goal scorer in the league. Nice. If, of course, he's still there. Because, you know, he was the top goal scorer last season. Oh, Faleli's in there as well. Excuse me. I was going to have I did say I was going to have the night off and like just chill out and get caught up on some sleep, but I was like, probably need to come on and actually like explain what's happening for the rest of the week. So yeah, so after tonight, Wednesday, a Wednesday stream, then no stream Friday, okay, and no streams for a week after, because of holidays, hollybobs. And as I say, then back for like a couple of weeks, and then I'm away for another week with work. So, thankfully, there's nothing really to talk about at the minute, is there, in the Football Manager world? So we shouldn't really miss too much. If anything does crop up, though, I've got a podcast. Some of you might have heard of it. So, you might want to check that out. Or check out my reaction videos on YouTube. Watch me hate myself for a few minutes. They say we hope you have an amazing holiday. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be nice. Have a bit of time away. Different surroundings. Essentially, it's just shouting at the kids in a different country. So, Diabate finishes again. Right now, Zwolle, I think, are they in the Dutch second division, or are they in the Dutch second division, aren't they? Just trying to get a bit of an idea as to sort of like their ability levels compared to ours. Fevre, Diabate, oof. Oh, Gochman, in fact, sorry, getting involved. Diabate, great turn. Oh, decent cross in mind as well. God, he's better with that header. All about giving the kids the memories they will remember fondly. That's what it's all about, isn't it, Jason? That's it. You don't get too many holidays with them. So try and make it as nice as you can. Fevre, good save by the keeper. Right, second half. Let's get this one done. Done in the books. Then we go to bed. Well, we'll obviously raid, but great tackle. Yes, Mrs. J will have a lovely holiday as well, Jason. Thank you for that. Yeah. Sure. She deserves a holiday. She needs a holiday. Yeah, she's definitely the one that needs a holiday. Giving the ball away. Come on. Win it back. Good defensive clearance. That'll do. Severson for Mendy, actually. Castell, Babatunde. Drives forward. Castell. Oh, look at that. Kouamouo. Great finish. You sound absolutely done in. 90 minutes of football by trek around Legoland will do it. Yeah, and to be fair, well, I thought I was going back to work today, but my mum's not very well, so there was no childcare today, so I had to take the day off. And I've therefore had the kids, been out and about with the kids all day as well, so yeah, I am a little bit done in. So that's why we're going to finish a bit earlier. So yeah, there's been not much sleep had over the weekend. I've tried. There wasn't much sleep on Friday. I got an early night Friday, but then a very, very early morning Saturday morning. Saturday morning night I had some sleep. But yeah, a long trip back on Sunday. Best wish in the moment. Mate, no, thank you very much. It's one of those, like she had some neck and spine surgery about 2 or 3 years ago, I think now. And she has good days and bad days, and today was just a bit of a bad one where she was just a bit stiff, and she was like, yeah, I can't really sit in a car for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and then do childcare, and then drive all the way back up. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. Just a bit, it's when it happens, it's just a bit difficult to sort of be like, right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Guess we need to try and make a new plan. But it's what it is, isn't it? It's the joy of parenthood. You sort of go, okay, cool, fine. Well, we'll sort it out. So. Oh, good defending again. Here we go. Can we get that on the break? Niakate brings it forward. Mendy. Who's he going to find? Loads of space over there for Babatunde. Loads. Oh, not a bad idea. But he's been quite out of position now. Oh, look at that. Defended well. Given nowhere to pass into. Cardo makes it 4. Offside. What have we got? We've got FM Tom as the referee. Clearly onside. Right, there we go. All done. How did Zwala have 17 shots? I find that hard to believe. But apparently it was a thing. Well, there we go. That's where we are. That's where we are. So, I think what we need to do now is we will save that up. Very happy to do that. Pop ourselves over here. And, yeah, appreciate you all hanging out tonight, chilling, talking charity match, talking Sunderland. You know, doing the usual stuff, talking nonsense, which we also do. Back on Wednesday, no stream on Friday, holiday Friday. But yeah, back on Wednesday. Go and hang out with Mr. Maggio. Yeah, go and give him some love. And yeah, check out the podcast on Thursday, and we'll see you on Wednesday. All the best. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.